I think it got pushed in more, though. That's why it hurt.
So you think he just got jammed?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I never jammed a shoulder. Fucking, that shit sucks. But we talk about movies and other things on the Not Topical podcast. It's a podcast mostly about movies, and you're not very lit, lighting-wise. I want to scoot that up some, sir. Nathan told Strange Wang. That's what it would say if this was a script. Because he's Nate and I'm Strange Wang. And we always start off with movie news. Starting out, Clint Eastwood's directing his final movie.
Huh. Did it say what it's about?
Negatory. I'm a little bit happy because his movies are like declining.
Yeah.
But they're not awful.
The Mule got terrible reviews.
Yeah. But I don't think it's like... He's never had like, this is the worst movie of the year, like, contender yet. Paris 315 or whatever that one was, where they used like the guys who were on the
Marines. Yeah.
That one wasn't very good, but
before that, I guess it was
decent stuff.
Gran Turismo.
Gran
Turismo. Gran Torino.
Was that a video game?
Yeah, it was. Or is? I don't know if they still make those. And then he had Trouble with the Curve. I really like Trouble with the Curve. It's not Moneyball by any means, but I really like Trouble.
Had two Oscar winners. $1 Million Baby. Unforgiven. Dude's had a great career as a director.
Yeah.
Probably the best actor-director ever in history.
Maybe.
You can't count Tarantino or Hitchcock or Scorsese. Bruce Willis doesn't have enough movies under his belt, I don't think, to be in that conversation.
Yeah.
And B.J. Novak has one movie.
I'd have to think of it. I'd have to really
But B.J. Novak has one very, very good movie.
Yeah.
Have you watched Vengeance yet?
I haven't watched it yet.
It's so good. I watched it again today.
I think Ben Affleck's a pretty good director.
Oh, yeah. I forgot about that.
Yeah. He might need some more movies to really like
Air
be in that, but
has really good reviews so far.
Yeah.
So I'm very excited for that. I'm doing a TikTok about my favorite movie shoes.
Huh.
Where I'm not doing anything. I'm just pointing to the title and then everything. TikTok does the rest, you know. I'm lazy.
Until it's banned.
Do you think it's going to get banned?
No, but we'll see.
Because I need to save all those sewing videos so I can learn how to sew. There's some really cool pants on TikTok. Not really movie news, but kind of movie news. Scott Pilgrim is getting an anime, but they're taking the film cast and using them for the anime.
Yeah.
I really like Scott Pilgrim. I don't like it as much as you do. How excited are you for this? And are you watching the anime first day or giving it a little while?
Oh, no, I'm going to watch it for sure. I'm pretty stoked about it. I am assuming it is going to be a series.
Yes.
And that makes me excited because, you know, Scott Pilgrim is like, it really does cram a lot into one movie. And for cramming a lot into one movie, it is actually very well paced.
That
usually doesn't work super well. But being able to spread this out a little bit more, give us a little bit more of the story. I'm assuming it will probably be slightly more accurate to the comic. So I'm pretty stoked about it. I think they're going to knock it out of the park.
Yeah, I don't know if this will be something that I'm on a first day out watch. I'm definitely going to wait till it's over. Because it's probably going to have multiple seasons just because it's going to have that nostalgia pop for people our age. They're definitely, I feel like, going to run to it and be like, oh, this show never gets any love. This concept, this idea, this movie, whatever, anime. What do they call those things? Because it started off as an anime, right?
What is a comic?
It was a comic book.
I have a hard time imagining this needing more than... Like, I wouldn't be surprised if this was just, like, a limited series, one season thing.
You never know.
Because, A, like, that's all you need to tell this story. And B...
You don't think the movie did that?
Getting this entire cast to sign on for multiple seasons, I think is a stretch.
So what do you think the show's about? Or do you know what the show's going to be about?
Oh, it's the same story. I'm sure.
That's kind of lame, then.
Why?
Well, maybe not, because it's going to have a lot more detail.
Yeah, what are you talking about?
Yeah. I don't know. I'm not a show guy.
Okay.
If I was old, like very, very, very old, I'd be a shogun. But I'm white, so that probably wouldn't have happened. Unless I'm Tom Cruise in that one movie.
The Last Samurai.
Shogun is a fun word to say. But
super heavy Shogun, whatever.
Is that the wrestling anime?
Huh? No, it's one of those super heavy.
Oh, yeah. Bad news. New John Wick universe film is in development. Have you seen John? Did you go and see John Wick before?
No, so I haven't seen it.
What did you do?
I didn't have enough time.
What did you do?
There weren't movie times that I...
Stay home and masturbate since your wife's not home?
Yeah, exactly.
You sick man. I hope you washed your hands for you out here.
No, it's not.
So you didn't see Creed or John Wick 4?
No, I went and played golf. And then...
The entire week?
The entire week? What do you mean the entire week?
You worked 2 days and had the rest of the week off.
Yeah, I had other shit to do.
Like grocery shopping. You could have... Yeah. When's Shawty coming back in town?
Who?
Shawty, your wife, Shawty.
Well, she's already back.
Oh.
She came back last night.
Oh, so now it's like you're catching it on Blu-ray then, more likely.
Maybe, I don't know. If I find the time to go see it, I will go see it.
All right. Well, I don't want.
I could be watching it right now, but I'm here doing this.
I don't want another John Wick movie to come out.
Well, what is it? I mean, are there any details about this?
You have to watch John Wick 4.
Oh, okay.
So that's all I'll say about that.
Oh.
But today, since the new Super Mario movie is coming out, we are going to reuse the concept of, would this video game make a good idea? After these messages.
Would this video game make a good idea?
Movie. You know what? So go suck little Vienna sausages because those are nasty. They smell weird.
They too. I don't like this.
They do.
Played golf today. Fucking pollen and shit still.
Did you win? Did you beat Stan?
I don't know. We don't really keep score. I mean, I keep my score, but we're not like playing against
So what'd
each
you
other.
hit?
We walked 9, and I shot a 46.
What does mean walk 9?
We walked 9 holes instead of getting in a cart and riding around.
So you played 9 holes, or you skipped those?
No. We played 9. We played 9 holes.
Okay.
And we walked to them, so we walked 9.
I don't fucking play golf like that.
Well, I still feel like that's pretty self-explanatory.
So how many? So you hit a 17 or 100 or?
I shot a 46 on 9 holes.
Okay, is that good?
For me, that's decent. That's pretty average for me.
So if you would have doubled that, you would have hit a 84, 87, something like that in the 80s, mid 80s.
Well, if I doubled that, I would have shot a 92.
Math.
My goal is to shoot in the mid to low 80s every time I play golf.
Okay.
So I would have had to have a better back 9.
Well, since I'm never playing basketball again, maybe I need to learn some golf terms. What are you doing next Sunday? You working next Sunday?
Yeah.
Never mind.
Why?
I was going to see if you want to play basketball.
Oh.
But I knew you usually
You
sleep
just
today.
said you're never playing basketball again.
Yeah, I'm playing basketball again. He's going to be sleep day. But anyways. Usually we just talk about non-movie subjects, but video games aren't movies. But Super Mario's coming out, so he's a video game guy on the channel. I'm going to throw out a video game, and he's going to tell me why or why not it would make a good movie. So this is from Blake. You know Blake. He's your age, so a lot of crossover.
Yeah, people thought we were brothers a lot.
You do look like brothers. Like someone chopped off your legs and gave you a whole bunch of muscles. That's Blake. Visual representation for you guys. But yeah, I said all the video games I knew last time, so I needed help on this one. So first off, Halo franchise, just movies.
Like, would the Halo franchise make a good movie? Well, the Halo franchise has already made a decent movie. And I'm pretty sure that there's one in the works.
Like a big budget?
Mm-hmm. Well, so wait, so there's a couple animated movies already.
So is it going straight off the first game?
I have no idea.
You never
honestly
played Halo?
Never played Halo. So I don't really. I have watched enough like Watch Mojo videos and like other stuff to have a sort of general premise of like what Halo is about. But anyways, to answer your question, I do think Halo could make an excellent movie because I love sci-fi space war shit, and that's pretty much what Halo is. And I think it can make an excellent movie, and we're gonna find out how good of a movie it's gonna be because they're already making one.
So how in the fuck did World of Warcraft and Monster Hunter
It's just all
have movies to go to theater, but Halo?
it's just all licensing and stuff.
Microsoft do better.
But the thing is like Halo is like one of the most beloved video game franchises of all time.
It was a huge deal when I was young.
So I think this is one of those things where they know that they have to get that shit right.
Seaside Alignment. Next, we probably have the greatest game to ever come out on PlayStation and all of the PlayStations. Wu-Tang Shaolin Style. So Wu-Tang Clan video game.
Yeah,
I came up with that one.
That's probably not going to make a very good movie because who's going to play them? What is it like Street Fighter but with the Wu-Tang Clan?
Yeah, basically.
Yeah.
It's a little side scroller, fucking beat 'em up type shit.
Was there a story to it?
Probably.
Oh.
It's the fucking Wu-Tang Clan.
Yeah, I'm going to say that would not.
You don't want to see the old dirty bastard beat people up?
Who's going to play him?
His son, young dirty bastard. Who goes on
is that his name?
Yeah, he tours with the Wu-Tang Clan and sings all of Old Dirty's parts.
Good for him.
They have a TV show, Wu-Tang Clan, on Hulu. It's a saga. How they all got together and became the clan.
Good for them.
Not the coup to the clocks, obviously. Next on Blakey's list, we have Mega Man, specifically Mega Man 64.
It's a great Mega Man game. I don't know if it could. But the thing with this one is I just don't know if I trust anyone in Hollywood to make a good Mega Man movie. So Mega Man is really interesting. He has a lot of very specific like bosses and mini bosses. And there is like it does actually have a pretty cool story with like Mega Man and his creator and this other scientist who's making all these other stuff and like there's a good story in there that I think could make a good movie. I don't trust anyone in Hollywood to make a good Mega Man movie because just like his character design itself is very childish, so they would probably lean really heavy into the making it for kids aspect, and I don't love that. Not that it shouldn't be like kid accessible, but there's a difference between making a movie that everyone can enjoy versus just like making a movie specifically for kids. So I don't think that's a good idea.
Do you think Elder Scrolls Oblivion would be a good idea?
So this really applies to any of the Elder Scrolls games. I think it could. The issue with them is that there are so like in all the Elder Scrolls games, you have like a main quest, but there are a billion side quests that just explore like the lore. You learn more about the different like species or races and stuff that like live in this world. You learn more about like the gods of the world. Some stuff just like shoots way off a rabbit hole and stuff like that. So you would have to like to make a good movie, you don't want a ton of side plots. You barely even really want any side plots. Like you need to be every scene that you make needs to be moving the main plot of the movie forward in some way, shape, or form. So they would have to pick specific quest lines from whatever Elder Scrolls game they're making a movie for. Stick with that quest line. But normally when they try to do stuff like that, then they try to tie in other things like for the fans in. And then it's just like, well, how the fuck did this person get here? Or like, why are they just talking about that? They didn't explain any of this. Like those games are so deep in their lore. I don't know that you could make a really good movie unless you just really commit to like one specific quest line / plot line. So I think what would really end up happening is that they would probably just make this like, medieval swords and magic type movie and then slap the Elder Scrolls name on it and then just,
Well, it worked for Dungeons and Dragons apparently.
Yeah.
Next.
Did not work for Monster Hunter though.
Don't know how. I don't know. I've only played this game twice. Would you? Super Smash Bros. Does it have a story?
It kind of does. Like, you got Master Hand, and like they all have to beat him. He's trying to take over the universe.
Is it Mr. Hand from
Smash Ultimate introduced this sort of storyline thing where like people are getting like the characters are getting captured and turned evil, and then you beat them, and then they're not evil anymore, and like I'm gonna say no. That just sounds like a bad idea.
Next, we have specifically Zelda, Legend of Zelda, Ocarina of Time.
I don't ever really want them to make a Legend of Zelda movie. So Link, which is the protagonist's name,
I knew that.
he doesn't talk.
Yeah.
Like, he's completely silent.
I knew that as well.
And so having a protagonist that doesn't talk is really interesting. So you have to make a creative decision. Are you going to stick with that and try to let other characters that aren't your main character tell your story for you? Or are you just going to say, he's the main character, he's got to talk? I think that if you took the story of Ocarina of Time and you turned it into a script, I think it would just inherently get really cheesy. Like in video game form, it's not, because it's drawn out. There's a lot of hacking and slashing and puzzle solving in between like the actual elements of the story that you get, and that's what makes the game great. Like, the game isn't necessarily great just because it is telling you this story that you're going along with. It has so many other elements that you would lose if you made it into a movie. So I do not think that Ocarina of Time would make a good movie.
I'm going to assume this is Final Fantasy 11. 1X?
That would be...
IX?
Wait,
Is that...
That would be 9.
Oh, no, 9. I thought X was 10.
X is 10, but if you have a 1 in front of the X, that means you subtract 1 from the X.
Okay.
So,
yeah.
So...
9.
Yeah, I think you could honestly... I'm surprised they picked that over 7. 7 and 10 are generally your go-to for story. I think, honestly, I really do truly think you could make a decent Final Fantasy movie, period. It's just one of those things, because they generally have one mostly straightforward plot that you were following, and it would just be tough because I think you'd be tempted to oversaturate it with lots of fights and action in between, but at some point in time, you have to give me story. You have to make me care about the characters. And when you play a video game, your story mode for a video game, it can last, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, up to, it takes most people, if you do pretty much everything, this isn't a great example because the story in it is incredibly convoluted, but Elden Ring takes some people up to 80 hours of gameplay to finish it. So that's way more time than anyone will spend watching a singular movie, right? So you have to add that time to get us to care about characters, which means you have to cut down a little bit on action unless you're finding a really good way to blend the two, which is difficult. So I don't think that would make a very good movie.
So you specifically said 7 or 10. How do you make 7 or 10 and not make 1, 2, 3? I don't know how the games work.
Dude, they generally, most of them have almost nothing to do with each other.
So the characters roll over or they don't roll over?
Every once in a while a character will appear in a game that was in a previous one, but in general, like you could pick up Final Fantasy X right now and not have played any other Final Fantasy game, and you like would not really be missing out on any story.
So out of all the ones I named, the least and best choice for a movie, in your opinion? Let's go ahead. Super Smash Bros. I think it was clear that's the worst.
Yeah, I think that's the worst one because it's just like it is solely about characters fighting each other. So like you almost have to set up this like Dragon Ball Z fighting tournament, like a shonen anime style thing, and that doesn't work really well for a whole movie. So like that just I think you gotta scrap that. I think that's yeah.
I'm just kidding.
Right. And like yeah, and there's only one halfway decent Mortal Kombat movie.
That's true.
And I wouldn't say it's good.
The new one's I like the new one.
So I was talking about the new one.
You don't think the first one's any good?
No, I don't think the first one's any good. Get that nostalgia horseshoe out your ass. So
music.
Yeah, I think Super Smash Bros. Has got to be the worst pick. I can't remember what the other ones were, honestly.
The Wu-Tang Clan game.
Actually, that might be the worst.
Yeah. Mega Man 64, Smash Bros, Halo franchise, Ocarina of Time.
Okay.
Elder Scrolls Oblivion, and
Final Fantasy.
Yeah,
I think the answer is Halo, but I'm not going to say that because they are making the Halo movie. So since that's already being done, I'll scrap it. And I'll say I think Final Fantasy. I do think it'd be tough to do, but again, if you just commit to specific moments of character development, limit yourself on the action, and like find a way to like you just have to trust your audience with that one. You are not going to be able to spend a lot of time explaining these different kinds of magic, like, you know, these different, like, factions. Like, you just have to trust your audience to accept a lot of things just as they are. So if you cut down on the exposition, trust your audience, cut down on the action that you would, don't do it as much as you would probably naturally want to do, then I think you could make a really good Final Fantasy movie.
And those are movies that Nate thinks would or wouldn't make for good movies.
Video games. That I think would or wouldn't make good movies. Not movies that I think would or wouldn't make good movies.
Of course. It's been a long day.
Yeah.
Are you looking forward to the Super Mario movie?
I'm not looking forward to the Super Mario movie. I don't care about the Super Mario movie. I have zero expectations. Yeah, when it pops up on... What studio made it? If it's on anything except Paramount Plus, I can pretty much watch it. That's the only thing I don't have at this point.
It's, You still got Disney Plus?
Yeah.
Did you kick me off of it?
No.
Okay.
I might have changed my password, and now you just have to change your password.
I think the password kicked me off.
Oh.
It didn't log in, and I was like, what?
Oh.
Illumination. The, Minions.
Yeah.
Is that Peacock?
I don't know.
I think that's Peacock.
It might be.
Because they got the Nintendo rights. But, I don't know. I'm not... See, the first time I ever played Mario was Super Party 64.
Super Mario Party?
Mario Party 64.
Fucking Mario Party. Excellent games.
Yeah, I love them.
Yeah, they're incredible.
I don't have enough friends to ever play them.
Yeah.
So, it's like, I want to play this. Because, like, we hung out. It was always, oh, Smash Bros. Oh, Mario Kart. We never played the fucking party. And that shit to me, I would rather play that than any of them. So that's clearly, without a doubt, my favorite Mario game. What about you?
I have played most Mario games. My personal favorite Mario game is Super Mario Sunshine.
What's that about?
Man, I don't know how to even explain that.
You know, like Dr. Mario?
So, Mario and Peach go on vacation, right?
Yeah. He would tap that ass in the Bahamas.
It does look like the Bahamas. Peach is dumb, so she gets kidnapped, right? And there's this evil goo that is just like covering the place.
Ugh.
And so Mario meets this sort of sentient backpack water gun thing. And then so you have to use the water gun to clean up all of the goo. And find shine sprites, which are that game's version of stars.
What year is this?
And 02, 03.
Okay, so this is for the
GameCube.
Okay, that makes sense. They were just throwing everything at the fucking GameCube.
Yeah.
Oh, what if Luigi was in the Haunted Mansion? Fuck it, let's do it. Luigi's Mansion.
Which was a good game.
Yeah, like they was just cranking out hits after hits after hits.
Yeah. But honestly, I'm not a huge fan of like Super Mario Sunshine follows the same formula, but I'm not a huge fan of like the Mario 64 formula, the Mario Galaxy, like running around trying to find all these stars.
So you're not a big Mario guy?
No, I'm really not.
Really?
I love Super Mario Sunshine. It is my favorite Mario game in terms, like, not counting, Kart and all the spin-off Mario stuff.
No, I was counting all of them. If you want to say Mario Tennis, we could have went with that.
Well, in that case, then Mario Party 2 is probably my favorite Mario game. I do love Mario Kart 64, and the Mario Kart that came out for the GameCube was also really Double Dash. That was really fun. But Mario Party 2 is probably my favorite Mario period game.
When are we playing it?
But I also played Mario Golf a lot, and I played Mario Tennis for the Game Boy and for the GameCube, and Mario Golf. And I think I've played just about every Mario spinoff there is. Oh, Yoshi's Story. That is an incredible Mario spinoff game. I don't know. I don't own Mario Party 2, nor do I own it in N64.
Why?
So, huh?
Why?
I had one at one point. I just never play it.
So the nostalgia bug never got you?
No, because pretty much everything that I would want to play, I could get like a remastered or a ported version of and play it.
So they haven't remastered that yet for the, what's it called?
The Switch?
Yeah.
Mario Party 2? I don't think so.
You should look into that so we can play one day.
Hmm.
I can use 3 people.
Also really like Mario Party 4. I like that one a lot.
Yeah.
So
I've only had the one for the Wii U.
Mm.
It's one and only. And I had no friends to play it with, so I had to play it with myself.
Bummer.
Yeah.
You're used to playing with yourself.
Not all the time. Usually I have friends. Yeah. I really want to play Mario Party. I've been watching wrestlers play Mario Party on the internet. They have this like YouTube page. They play video games.
Nice.
And it's called The Party. And I watch them play Mario Party. It's like, man, I wish I had me some friends so I could do that. Oh god, my shoulder fucking hurts. Like, I gotta be at work at 6 o'clock in the morning. That shit's gonna suck. Massive dong.
Sounds like it.
That shit, I'm not looking forward to that.
Yeah.
But, back to video game stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Does Desert Island, you get 3 video games. What 3 are you picking?
Man, so many questions about why I'm able to play video games on a desert island. But
You're playing the video game, you're not playing, like, internet. So take internet out of this.
okay. So just like single player games.
Yeah, because then you could just be like, hey, Austin, after we get on with this match, send help.
Legend of Zelda Wind Waker.
Why Wind Waker?
It is. So all of my choices are probably going to be games that are like I know are pretty long. Because
that makes sense.
Yeah. So
For
it's
sure.
like by the time I finish one, I might be ready to go do a playthrough through another one. Legend of Zelda Wind Waker technically is kind of 2 games in one because you have the main game where it's just the game. You play the game. You go through the dungeons you need to go to, collect the items you need to collect, you go fight the bad guy. Job well done. Also the best, in my opinion, the best Ganon fight. Freaking love that one. It's incredible. I love the boat stuff, and also there's enough side things to do, like getting 100% on that game would take a very long time. Also, because I was never anybody who plays Wind Waker. I hope you remember this. I was never able to get like I can't remember if it was like gold, silver, or bronze or like however rated, but the highest rating you could get on sorting mail, and I could never freaking get the quickest time on that. There's just like this mini game in the game where you have like I think it's 5x3. It might be 4x3. But there's these boxes and they all have a symbol on them, and then a piece of mail pops up with a corresponding symbol on it. So you got to get your cursor to that and then like sort the mail and all these things. I could never beat the like whatever the fastest time.
This is Zelda?
Yeah.
They have Mel in Zelda?
Yeah, there's mini games in Zelda.
No, Mel.
Mail? Yeah. Yeah, there's like this whole species of people that can turn their arms into wings and they fly and deliver mail.
I thought they had birds for that, but I guess that makes sense.
Well, you got bird people.
Yeah, but like you roll it up, you don't send an envelope.
Yeah, well, they had mail pouches. They carried it.
Sure.
Yeah.
Crazy people.
Well, they're like human sized, but they can fly.
Oh,
yeah.
Right.
Look, get with it or get out of the way.
I got out the way. I stopped talking so you could give me your other
all right, so Legend of Zelda Wind Waker. The second part of the game is after you beat the game the first time, you get it's called a picto box, but it's really just a camera. You get that in the first game, but in the second, on your second playthrough of the game, you get the deluxe picto box, which takes pictures in color. And there's this whole extra game where you have to take a picture of literally every single person and bad guy, including bosses. And you don't get to replay the bosses. So you while you're fighting them, you have to like stop fighting, get a good enough picture of them, because you can't just like take a picture of their belly button. It has to be like, it has to tell you that it's a good enough picture, and then beat them. But if you beat them and you didn't get a good picture, you're fucked.
Yeah.
So you go through the whole game of again trying to take pictures of everything you have to take pictures of, and that's the whole site. So that would take a lot of time.
That's funny.
It's fairly new, but for a lot of similar reasons, I think I'm going to take Elden Ring. I have thoroughly enjoyed it. I'm on my third playthrough now. It has multiple endings, so it is worth playing the game multiple times. There are multiple different play styles you could play. Like you could play as strictly like a sword and shield guy. You could play as strictly magic. You could mix them up. Like there's just so many different ways you can play that game or build your character in that game that like that would stay really fresh. And finally, I would there isn't a new one yet, so I'm just gonna say NCAA 2014 because that was the last one that came out, and I can go in, I can start my like head coach thing, and literally just run on forever, recruiting and like all this kind of shit. So that's it. Those are three.
So you are not one for the nostalgia bug. But do you go back and like play the remastered versions of old games?
Every once in a while.
Last one you played?
The last remastered version of an old game I played. I have to think about it.
Like from your childhood, not something, I didn't get this when I was a kid, I want to go back and play it. Something that you loved as a child and you're like, I'm going to play that.
I think it wasn't even the remastered version. I still have a GameCube. And I think the last like game from my childhood that I replayed was Pikmin.
The fuck is that? And
again, man, me even explaining Pikmin to you is going to be like, what the fuck are you talking about? So you're an astronaut. Your spaceship crash lands on this planet, and they're weird little plant dudes that kind of look like sperm with flowers growing out of their head.
Mm-hmm.
And some of them do different things. Some of them are just immune to certain elements. So like the red ones, they're immune to fire. Yellow ones are immune to electricity. All that kind of shit.
You could sell it for $88 right now.
Yeah. Those old games are worth money.
Yeah, it's crazy.
But basically, they can take shit back to their spaceship and turn it into like money and like parts for your ship. So your whole thing is you have to fix your ship, right? But there's a time limit. You only have like 3 days to do it. So like you gotta or no, they take back their ship and they turn it into more Pikmin. And then you have to go find the parts of your ship that are scattered around the planet. But then there's like there's bad guys who like to eat Pikmin. So like, but how you beat the bad guys, you're tiny as fuck, you can't fight them. So you literally have to like just launch your Pikmin onto them, and they just like try to beat the shit out of them. But it's like if they're eating them, you can run out. So you gotta like manage how many Pikmin you have. You gotta take the right ones with you for the right situation. Like, so it's like
strategy.
It's an it's an adventure strategy puzzle game, basically.
Makes sense.
Yeah.
You play Pikmin 4?
No.
It's out. And 3, the deluxe. I've learned so much. But when we come back from this quick message, we'll be talking about the top 5 Matt Damon movies in honor of Air coming out. Here at NotTopical, we're unfortunately poor, and this money you see on screen, that's CGI. That's not real money, because again, we're poor. So if you want to click in the ad eye in the corner, that video is monetized and we can make money off it, so please go watch it.
And if you click an ad, we make more money. And if you really want to help, there's the thanks button right there below this video.
As I said before, we're doing top 5 Matt Damon films in honor of Air. Nate's going to tell you how it works.
He's going to start with his 5 and 4. I'll give my 5 and 4, 3-2, 3-2. Then we trade off number ones. We also have something called the Zemeckis rule, which just means that we both have the same movie on our list, but one person has it 2 spots or higher. We just talk about it once when we get to it on theirs.
So, haven't seen a lot of Matt Damon movies. Preference that. So my number 5 is going to be, because then, again, I mean, these are our favorite Matt Damon performances. So, with my lack of Matt Damon movies,
Dogma.
I went with something I really, really liked. And it is Euro Trip. Because he sings a cool ass song that I enjoy. Scotty doesn't know. And he goes, ah! And it's like, holy shit, that's Matt Damon.
That's true.
Euro Trip's a funny movie. I mean, a lot of people probably don't think it's funny today, but I think it's funny. And then it's always a good surprise to see Matt Damon.
Euro Trip is okay.
Every 3 or 4 years.
I was always more of a road trip fan, but Euro Trip's alright.
Yeah. Number 4 for me is going to be Ford v Ferrari.
It's my number 3.
It's a very good movie. Obviously, he's got a huge crutch by the name of Christian Bale carrying him in that film. But
I don't feel that way.
Oh, dude, he definitely gets out acted in that film. Like, Christian Bale, every scene says in that film. But in the scenes you don't see Bale in them, Matt Damon is doing that exact thing to me. He's stealing all the scenes. He's the best part of every scene he's in. That are his scenes. Something Shelby.
Carol.
I don't think that's it. Carol Shelby, is that it?
That's it. That's his name. Carol Shelby.
Carol Shelby does an incredible job.
That's it.
in getting what he wants his way. And because of that, it makes for a very fun underdog story. Obviously, Christian Bale comes in and he does this thing. He's like, I'm not playing by the rules. You got a different set of rules. I'm not even playing by your rules. And that little back and forth between the two is so much fun. And Shelby's like, I'm trying to help this dude and he doesn't want my help. Fuck him. I'm just going to fight him while he's carrying groceries. And it's great. I think his performance is excellent in this film as well.
Yeah, I wholeheartedly agree. I think that Matt Damon very much so holds his own in his performance in this film. Christian Bale is Christian Bale. I'm not going to deny that. But to me, they're toe-to-toe in this one. I mean, Matt Damon is a Bostonian, like, through and through. Like, he is from there, and you can tell. So, for him to step into this, like, I can't remember where Carol Shelby was from. I'm just going to assume it was Texas. So to step into this, like, more southern role and kind of, like, carry that like slower talking, like Southern businessman swagger. Who like I am smart. I know what I'm talking about, and I also have that like country gentleman. But if you fuck with me, you're gonna find out kind of attitude. I think he crushes it, and I also love that movie and think it is excellent. So
That's very good.
Yeah.
It was so weird. I was making my list and I put that at my number 4, and I was like, that should be higher. And then I looked at 1, 2, and 3, and I was like, damn.
Yeah.
It's like you can't go no higher. I personally am like pretty concrete, like cemented with my 1, 2, and 3.
That's good.
And 4. Now, Air, I'm a shoe guy. It may change that.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I hope it does. I
I'm
have
looking
some
forward
high
to
hopes
it.
for that movie.
Me too. Bro, fucking Matt Damon's wig in that movie is not as good as Last Duel, where he's like having orgies with a bowl cut,
Right.
but it's still pretty good. And he had Chris Tucker in it. Love Chris Tucker. Man.
Wait.
Chris Tucker is in Air.
Oh, you mean Ben Affleck? You might have said Ben Affleck. I'm still thinking of Matt Damon.
Yeah.
I
don't know what else, to be honest with you. I can't speak English.
Whatever. They're basically the same person at this point. My number 5 is Rounders.
We could do a top 5 Matt Damon, Ben Affleck movies, but I haven't seen all of them.
Yeah.
Shit, probably.
Yeah, I don't know.
School Ties, Dogma, Good Will Hunting. Last Duel.
Oh, yeah.
There's probably one more.
Yeah, there's got to be at least one more. He's not in the town, I don't think.
Air. There will be 5 if there's not already.
Right. So my number 5 is Rounders. I really like poker movies, and I really like this one specifically. John Malkovich is unhinged as he normally is, and man, it's just like doesn't make any sense, this accent that he's doing. But we're not talking about him. We're talking about Matt Damon. This guy, he loves a con man. He loves a shyster. It's basically what he is in this film. But he loses, and so he has to go and get better. But in the process of getting better, he freaking takes a bunch of money from, I can't remember if they were police officers or firemen, but he gets into some like lodge and plays poker against these guys and takes a bunch of money from them, ends up getting kicked out. But he owes people money. That's like, honestly, like, that's the best plot for just any movie you're going to base around card games. Like,
With this person money?
yeah, like, they're going to kill me or beat the shit out of me if I don't pay them, so I have to win. But then he learns John Malkovich's tell, which is the way he opens and licks his Oreos. And I really like that movie. It's pretty good.
You don't hear something weird. Oreos are gross. I do not like Oreos. I won't eat Oreos.
That is weird.
But if you give me Oreo minis, I will eat Oreo minis by the handful.
They are
which would amount.
Same thing. Yeah.
Which would amount to one whole Oreo.
That is weird. Why are you like that?
I don't know.
Well, think about it. I want to know. I want to understand. Everything is understandable.
Except John Malkovich's accent in that movie.
You just have to think about it. My number 5, this probably is Zemeckis. I just took the Oceans 1, 2, and 3.
Zemeckis.
Yeah.
My number 3 is going to be The Departed.
It's not on my list.
What?
It's so here's my thing. It's too much Leo's movie.
Okay.
For me to have really given that one to Damon. And
right. Wow.
yeah, it was tough, but that's how I feel.
So The Departed, excellent movie. Get that out of the way right now. But it's made by someone who has made much better movies than that, which is Mark Scorsese. Mark Scorsese comes with a reputation. So with that reputation, you have a lot to live up to. You have big shoes to fill, even though this film's this film is a remake. But even the films of his that aren't remakes, you're in a Scorsese movie.
Mm-hmm.
Acting is his thing. He's not using CGI explosions and superheroes and shit. So your performance is what is going to be meaningful in that movie. That's what leaves a lasting impact. So for Matt Damon to look across the screen from Leonardo DiCaprio, which people say is the greatest actor, like working today,
Mm-hmm.
and then you look across the table again and you see Jack Nicholson, which is an underrated actor in my opinion. Everyone knows his work from the 80s, understandable, Shining, Batman, phenomenal movies, but 70s, that dude kicked ass and ruled, and people just don't talk about Five Easy Pieces or Cuckoo's Nest or Easy Rider like they used to. So Jack Nicholson, underrated as fuck.
Huh. It's an interesting take.
Yeah, for sure. So for me personally, the dude with the shaky cam movies is in the guy who made Goodfellas. That was my introduction to watching The Departed, and I didn't think Matt Damon really could do it because he's quiet and he doesn't know who he is. That doesn't take a lot of skill, but he kills this role. No pun intended. He's very good. He's acting on the level with these phenomenal actors and surprised me because at that time I didn't think he could do it. So every time I watch it, I'm like, this dude kicks ass in this role. But now I've seen much better films of his. Like I'll say that later. My number 2 is, again, favorites, Ocean's films. He's like that annoying little brother who just loves the big brothers and always wants to do what they're doing, and he looks up to them. But these are grown men. And it's kind of funny because at that point in time, George Clooney and Brad Pitt are like the two most well-known famous actors working to like the wide media.
Yeah.
And Matt Damon's like on the cusp of that. He's on the border. And he's like, hey, let me in there. Hey, let me in there. You know, so like...
I can do it. Let me do this part.
Yeah.
I want to do this.
And even they like have this running gimmick where they call his parents and shit.
Yeah.
And it's like he's so like... He becomes a little kid when they bring up his parents. And it's such a funny, heartwarming thing in this movie about robbing people. His performance is fucking great and always gives me a smile.
Yeah, one of my favorite... I never really made the thought about this until now, but we were talking about video games earlier too. But I can't remember which movie it is. There's one movie where they give him something to do and he's like convinced it's like this really important piece of the puzzle, but it's not. It's just like a thing they gave him to go do, which like
get him out of the way.
They just used it as a distraction. And I'm like, that is the real life equivalent of handing your little brother or your little cousin the controller because they want to play too, but the shit's not even plugged in.
Oh yeah,
and
for
they
sure.
just think that
That's
they're
hilarious.
playing. Yeah, the reason this was my number 4 is just because it's like he's sharing this movie with so many other people.
That's fair.
Like it's not. Again, it's not a Matt Damon movie.
Yeah.
Which I guess you can make that same argument about Ford versus Ferrari, but I feel like it's 1-for-1 there for me.
1v1.
But he is like very important in these movies, especially as they go on, and like has the best. Like if anyone in this movie has actual character development, it's him. Like Clooney, you get a little bit with like him and Julia Roberts, and he's like, like I'm not, So, but with Damon, it's like he's actually growing into being them. And like, which is what he wants to be. So every movie he gets a little bit more trust, a little bit more responsibility. Till the third one where it's like he has to go seduce this lady and do all that stuff. And like, which he even technically cheats at that because he uses an aphrodisiac, which it's not even a real thing. But he just gets... No, it's like all mental. So it's not that they don't work, but you just have to believe that they work and you have to want them to work for them to actually work on you. But scientifically, physiologically, that's not a thing. Yeah.
Who knew?
That's why it's my number 4 instead of higher.
Yeah, but these are my favorite ones, though. So
they're good.
Fuck it.
My number 3 was Ford versus Ferrari, and my number 4 is The Martian. I love this movie. I think it's incredible. And also, it is just like entirely up to Matt Damon to make this movie work. Yes. Like it is like Castaway in space. That it is literally Castaway in space. So if he doesn't make it work, it doesn't work. Matt Damon is a very good actor. He does make it work. He genuinely makes me feel for this character, worry about his outcome, like what is going to happen to him. I like that it's like a space survival movie where there's no there's no alien trying to get him. There's no like bad astronaut trying to hold him back. It is just like him versus the environment that he's in, you know?
I haven't seen this movie, but last time I saw Matt Damon in space, he was the bad astronaut trying to hold him back.
Right, exactly.
Kind of,
Yeah.
yeah.
Right. So Matt Damon was just really into space movies for like 2 years. And like literally the antagonist is the elements and then like the government deciding if it's worth the money to try to bring him back. So
God damn.
but there's just enough setbacks and like just enough of him overcoming those setbacks to just like keep you really, really invested in this character. So I really, really dig The Martian. You never seen it?
No.
I would recommend it. It's a very good movie.
I own it.
Yeah.
Because I know it's a very good movie.
Yeah.
But it's just one I've just like never got into.
I think you dig The Martian.
That was your 4.
That was 2.
That was your 2?
Yeah.
You said 4.
No, my number 4 was...
Okay.
So I have Rounders, Oceans, Ford vs. Ferrari, Martian.
Okay, I got
So we're on your number 1. I might have said
our
4.
number 1.
Yeah.
Because it's Good Will Hunting.
Yeah. My
Good
number
Will
1 is
Hunting.
also Good Will Hunting.
He's the main character, but everyone in this movie kills it. But he's the one that all those good performances go towards. And because of that, you just care about this dude so fucking much. And you're your own worst enemy. Get the fuck out of your own way. Be happy, kid. And out of all these movies, there's not a movie that I have more investment for a character than in Good Will Hunting. And honestly, you could throw 10, 15 movies, non-Matt Damon movies, up on a board and be like, which one did you have the most investment for the main character for? Probably Good Will Hunting is going to be in the top 3, if not number 1, because you just meet this kid, you love him, you want to hang out with him, you want to be there with his friends antagonizing college kids about how they didn't get this chick's number, and how about them apples, and you want to talk in a Boston accent with these guys, and you just want to fucking have him go on and do bigger and better things, because that's going to make you happy. And you just, the amount of investment this movie gives the audience is unreal.
Yeah. I agree. I think that like this movie doesn't have a lot of things that other movies that maybe slightly similar would do. In that like you don't have like one of his friends that is so jealous of him that he tries to hold him back.
Yeah.
You don't have like you said, he is his own antagonist in the movie. There's not this one other specific person. Like you could, like Skarsgård is like,
yeah, that's what I was thinking.
Skarsgård wants him. He wants him to succeed.
He does it the wrong way.
But he wants him to do it his way. But that doesn't make him his antagonist. He still wants him to succeed, even if it's for like, I'm the one that found this kid and like, you know, things like that.
Yeah.
So like, it is really just all on Will. And like, he's fast talking, he's smart as shit, but he's still just like a blue collar kind of guy. You know, he has the best friend in the entire world who gives the best monologue in the entire world.
I would disagree.
What?
I would go, if we're talking best friends in the entire world, I would go number 1, you. Way to ruin the fucking moment, you cocky asshole.
I'm a good friend. I work really hard to be a good friend.
Alright, whatever. You done fucked up the list. Keep talking.
Who's number 2? Paulie? That guy sucks.
No.
Good.
Ray. From mid-90s.
That's a pretty good friend.
He was a great friend.
Seth Rogen from 50/50 is a very good friend.
Silent Bob would be up there. He wouldn't be over Ben Affleck, but he would be up there. That's a list for a different day.
Yeah, it is. But yeah, you really, really care about Will a ton, and Affleck does a really good job of like playing that balancing act of like, okay, I'm going to get better. No, I'm going to let my shit get in the way again. Like, oh, I'm too smart to let this therapist get to me. Okay, you're cracking me a little bit, but now there's a setback and I don't trust you again. But then you said the right, you told me it wasn't my fault, so now I'm going to, and then like, the fact, like, the way he leaves exactly the way that Ben Affleck said he just hopes that he leaves one day. It's just, like, it's good shit. The whole, like, the scene where him and Minnie Driver have, like, his blow up, is just, like, freaking heart-wrenching. Because it's just, like, she is literally telling you that she does want all of those things. Like, that is just pure, unconditional love for another human being, and you don't know how to accept it because you've never received it before. And that's like, I can dive even deeper into that, but that's all just based on one scene that because of the way that this guy acted it, you can understand and like get all of that without like, you know, without Robin Williams having to pop around the corner and be like, this is what's happening from a therapist perspective, you know?
By the way, my wife farts in bed.
Yeah. So in her sleep. Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, that movie's incredible. You should go watch Good Will Hunting if you have not seen Good Will Hunting.
You should. Top 10 for you?
Top 10 of all time?
I feel like it's...
I think the last time we made a top 10 list, it was on there.
I think it's like 10 through 5.
So it's probably there. I really, really, really love that movie. So
it's been 3 years. Is it time to redo it? Top 10?
Yeah, I think it's about time.
Okay.
It's about damn time.
I need to start working on that soon.
Yeah, I'm really going to think about it now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Let us know in the comment section your top 5 Matt Damon films. Scroll back up, hit that like button, share the video, and subscribe.
It's not a game, it's a rich thing.